Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday, December 14th edition of studentloanjustice.org. Hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. And if you have any questions or comments, and I can see them on Facebook or Twitter, throw them out, and I'm happy to respond to them in kind. I'm going to keep this live stream fairly short tonight, though, ladies and gentlemen, so don't blink. Take a picture, as they say. I have to start with an urgent plea for donations, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very sorry to have to lead with this, but the fact of the matter is we've got I think $29 in our account, and that's it. No backup, no nothing. And we've been incurring some rather interesting expenses lately that are geared towards a very special project that we have coming up. I think and I can't say anything about it now, I'm sorry. When I do roll it out, I think you'll be quite impressed and you'll understand why we had to incur these expenses. But ladies and gentlemen, it will be worth it. If you go to studentloanjustice.org/donate, that would be the place where you would go. I want to thank everybody who's been kicking in lately, by the way. I know it's been just incessant. We've been fundraising just like a mad dog. And it's very worth it, ladies and gentlemen. I can't thank everybody by name, but Vanjie, for example, she donates $200 a month, which is absolutely huge. And by the way, there's a challenge out from Vanjie to you all to similarly make a monthly recurring donation. And guys, think about it this way. If 300 people donated $10 a month, that would be all that we needed that's $36,000 a year, $3,000 a month. That would be our baseline expenses. And that would be just super good because then I wouldn't have to fundraise all the time. So just please help if you can so I can shut up about it, guys. It's very difficult doing what I do. I hope that you can appreciate that fact. And I hope that you understand how important this group is towards getting actual, not pretend, student loan justice. So anyways, a couple of announcements. I haven't done a real full-on live stream for quite a while now. We did a really good talk with Democratic presidential candidate Marianne Williamson this week. And if you look up or down on our Facebook group, you can see it. I will post it to our website pretty soon. Really good talk, half-hour talk. We hit all the major points. Marianne's totally on our side, and I would love to see her shake up the Democrats. So that's the good news. Just in general, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say I am reminded of the saying, it is always darkest before the dawn. And right now, guys, I've never been anything but honest in this group, and I won't stop now. And I have to tell you, it is looking very grim for us right now in the world of fighting for student loan justice. And I have to laugh, otherwise I'd be crying. So last year, the Democrats betrayed us. They had a longstanding promise to return bankruptcy protections to student loans, and they chose to betray us. That was very, very painful, very hurtful. So here we are now, nearly a year into the new congressional session, and the Democrats look less likely now to actually try and push bankruptcy through than they did a year ago, and they don't control Congress anymore. The Republicans, I guess I can say a couple good things. Ron DeSantis has joined us in calling for the return of bankruptcy rights to student loans, but he's not going to win the nomination, right? It's just probably not going to happen for him. So he's not going to be on the ballot. Marianne Williamson, probably, I would love to see her pull something big on Biden, but realistically, I don't think that we can count on anybody but Trump or Biden being on the ballot at this point. And it's difficult. So both parties have abandoned and or betrayed us. And it's just very difficult to know what to do, which is why we as a group are upping our game big time coming up. And that's the special project that I keep teasing you about. I'm sorry about that. But suffice it to say, when it happens, you'll definitely know about it. And I hope and think you'll be impressed. Yeah, so we're going to up our game big time. I would only say hang in there, guys. We absolutely need you to be fighting. You know, these are your loans. This is your problem. And way too many people on this group I see are just flailing around. They're trying to tiptoe their way through the minefield that is the predatory federal student loan program. It's quite frankly, it makes me sad to see, because I've been doing this for 19 years now. And I know all the tricks and the traps, and everything we see from the Department of Education is a trick and or a trap, ladies and gentlemen. The new bankruptcy process, it's a total trap. Don't fall for it. This negotiated rulemaking session that apparently finished up yesterday, we didn't even pay much attention to that, and I'm glad that we didn't, because as we predicted, it turned out to be a complete sham. The Democrats, the Department of Education, they are going to string that out. That sounds great, right? They're talking about canceling loans for anyone who owes more now than they did when they left school, canceling loans for anybody who's had loans for 25 or 30 years. They're talking about the sun. They're promising the sun, the moon, and the stars, which is what they've always done. You know, we've been through probably 7, 8 negotiated rulemaking sessions, and they always, every time, absolutely are cruel jokes, and your life and your livelihood is the punchline. So I would get on my knees and beg you if I thought it would make a difference, but just please be smarter than that. And, all the income-driven repayment plans that everybody's trying to get into, or trying to find a way around, or trying to consolidate into, they're all cruel jokes, ladies and gentlemen. Cruel jokes. Many, 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 many years of experience has shown us that the overwhelming majority of people who try for these income-driven repayment plans will not get the benefit. They will not make it through. The Department of Education is very good at disqualifying people, bamboozling people out of those programs. So even with the recent loan cancellations that Biden has been throwing around like they're a big deal, I don't think the success rate is even 10% for those income-driven repayment plans. And there's no good reason to expect that will change. It will not. The Department of Education is run in the worst of bad faith, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I'm sure the Department of Defense does a great job protecting our country. I'm sure the Department of Transportation does a fantastic job building highways and freeways and byways and bridges. The Department of Education is a bad actor. They are sitting on top of the largest, most predatory loan scam in the history of this country. And if you don't believe me, look at how many times anyone mentioned returning bankruptcy in that negotiated rulemaking session. Zero times did anybody say, hey, why don't we just return bankruptcy to the loans? And guys, if you're new to the group, nobody wants to file for bankruptcy. It's a terrible thing to have to do. But without the leverage of bankruptcy on our side, we will never get anything meaningful from the Department of Education, from Congress, etc. Yeah, guys, the negotiated rulemaking session has turned out to be an absolute farce. They will string it out through the next election, guaranteed. They're trying to trick us again. Remember Biden before the last election? I'm going to eliminate your student loan debt if you earn less than $125,000 a year. You went to public college. Oh, what happened with that? Nothing happened with that. Those loan cancellations that we're seeing everywhere in the media, and people are like, oh, thank goodness, I finally got my loans canceled. They're a joke. Those loans were by and large loans that should have been canceled years or decades ago. And even if Biden or the next president continues to cancel loans at the current rate, which is about $131 billion every 3 years, the federal student loan portfolio will still grow by 1.7, or actually more, trillion, with capitalized interest, more, $1.7 trillion. So in 10 years, we will owe well over $3 trillion, probably about $3.5 trillion that we as a country will owe, even if they canceled 131 billion every 3 years, like happened on Biden's watch. So, ladies and gentlemen, just please be smart. This project that I keep alluding to, it's going to be a really big deal, and we're going to need all hands on deck, and that includes you. You can't sit and wait and watch and worry and waffle around and flail around trying to find the magic path out of this thing. They've blocked all the entrances off, dudes. They were very smart how they created this lending scam, and it is a scam. So I just hope you'll be smarter than that. I hope you'll realize that you have to actually fight. You have to actually get your hands a little muddy and a little bloody in this thing, unless you want to spend literally the rest of your natural life under this debt and die with this debt hanging over your head. And that's true for 85% of all student loan borrowers, by the way. It's probably closer to 90 now. In my humble opinion, I say this often and I'll say it again. In my humble opinion, nobody should be feeding their money into this beast. Nobody should be feeding this beast. It's not good for you. It's not good for everyone. It only makes it stronger. It only encourages and rewards this disgusting predatory behavior. It's tyranny. It's oppression. And the founding fathers are on our side, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's kind of the lay of the land right now, guys. I wish I had some better news for you. Unfortunately, and I will have some really astonishing things for you soon. But for now, guys, I would just say now more than ever, it is the darkest. It really is. It is the darkest before the dawn. So I just hope that you will not give the bad guys the pleasure of you sitting there waiting, watching, worrying, and doing nothing. That's exactly what the bad guys want. And when I say bad guys, I include some of the other groups out there claiming to be fighting for student loan borrowers. They're corrupted, guys. They're corrupted. None of the other groups calling for the return of bankruptcy rights. Some of the other groups literally were essentially founded by student loan debt collectors. Other of the groups use their groups as hunting grounds so they can prey on desperate, vulnerable student loan borrowers and make money off of your back by shafting you, by railroading you into loan consolidation, loan rehabilitation, etc. It's disgusting. Well, you will find none of those terrible things on this group. This group is 1,000,000%. Okay, 100%. It's impossible to be 1,000,000%. 100% absolutely through and through, ethically pure. We are as grassroots gets. We're just normal people. I'm a long-time defaulted student loan borrower, by the way. So I'm what's the word? I'm eating from the menu, or I'm not just a member. I'm not just the president. I'm a member also. Anyways, I feel your pain. I live your pain. In fact, I probably feel it a lot worse than most people because I live essentially like a cockroach. I live very austerely. And so believe you me, that I'm walking the talk and I'm talking the walk or something. I feel the urgency that you do. And I would only hope that a few more of you would start stepping up and at a minimum, start doing our daily actions. We do daily actions nearly every day. They're very quick. They're very effective. They're very well targeted, well timed. And, we've got we're the oldest, largest, first and really only true group fighting this fight. We've got over 1.5 million people on this group, guys. I kid you not, at least on paper. But that's meaningless unless a significant percentage of those people are actually helping. That means you. So I think we're going to wrap it up with that. I'm just going to leave it there at that for tonight, but I will finally maybe close with what I opened with, and that is to say, just please donate if you can. Your financial participation in this whole deal, it's really needed right now. And I hope you appreciate all that we as a group have gotten done. We wouldn't even be talking about student loan cancellation by executive order, but for this group. We wouldn't even have any bankruptcy legislation to fight for, but for this group. And many other things, and many bigger things up and coming. So I hope you appreciate this group, all that we've done, all that we're doing, all that we are poised to get done. And I hope that you, like me, don't want to see this group disappear. I mean, that would be a real tragedy, a real shame. Particularly now that repayments have resumed. We are fish over a barrel. We are just incredibly vulnerable right now with the loans turned back on, bankruptcy remaining gone, and the national conversation being completely overrun by propaganda. Groups like this become even more important in the hardest of times, and that's kind of where we're at, guys. So, okay, hopefully I'll have some better news to share with you. I'll have some stunning news in not too distant future, probably January 1st. I may roll it out a bit earlier than that, but we'll see how it goes. So, okay, guys, just all I can say is hang in there. We're in this together, and we are the large majority of all student loan borrowers. Make no mistake. 85%, probably 90% are underwater, just like you. Before the pandemic, most people had stopped paying. Today, I don't even think that 25% of the borrowers are making payments. So, misery loves company, I suppose, right? But this problem is very easily solved when we fight together. So tell everyone you know about this group with student loans. Tell everybody, even without student loans, about this group, because if they can do to other loans what they've done to student loans, they will. So this is a very big, big, big tiger that we have by the tail, guys. But we've got to hold on, and we've got to make it through. So. All right, I'll be back soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, as is appropriate. But hang in there, keep fighting. Do our daily actions. You can go to our website, studentloanjustice.org, and see our daily actions. Good luck, Godspeed, and God bless everyone.